of your breathing. It's all because of you. You are the reason why I'm standing here, why I can sing to you, why I can lift you up. You are the reason I can stand strong. I can give you glory. It's all because of you. Amen.
Funeral announcement. There is going to be a special memorial service in honor of our mother, our sister, and our daughter, Mrs. Vida Williams, popularly known as Auntie Abner, whose sudden death occurred in the UK. This service is taking place on Saturday, 19th of March 2022 at the Jesus is Alive Church, Brescia, via Valdescalve number 1. Time 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. Dress code black and white. All friends and loved ones are cordially invited. Thank you.
You are the reason. 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 Sing with me. You are the reason why I lift my head. Why I lift my voice. Why I lift my voice. Why I sing. Why I sing to you.
Social media and technology is here to stay, and it is changing our lives and that of our children in many ways. But an undisputable truth is that social media and technology is of a great help to us, is of a great benefit to us. Because, for example, you being there and I being here and we being able to interact is because of social media and technology. But at the extreme end, its negative impact on our children outweighs the benefit it brings to them. Hello, I bring you greetings from the Inside Studios, and you are watching The Virtuous Woman. Today we are discussing social media and parenting. We want to understand what social media is all about, how it all began, how it is affecting our lives positively and especially negatively. We want to understand if there is really a way forward for us, if there is hope for us to go back to our basics. And thank God that you are there watching. Thank God for joining us. If you are new on the page, I welcome you. This is the Inside Studios, and I urge you to follow, like, and subscribe the page. If you're already a family, I say thank you for staying with us. Our guest for today, before I introduce him to you, first impression counts. But after that first impression of somebody you meet, each time you meet the person, you have a thought of him. There is something that comes into your mind each time you meet that person. And for this man of God, each time I meet him or I see him on Facebook or in church or anywhere, the thoughts that comes into my mind are his words when he's preaching. He will tell you it pays to be ignorant. He will tell you, go read your Bible yourself. Don't take only what I'm telling you, but go research for yourself. In other words, he's telling you to have a personal relationship with God. Our man for today, or our guest for today, is Pastor Alex Umazon. He is the pastor of the Holy Way Pentecostals ministry, and he is a family life and salvation teacher. He is best known for his end-time preaching on the smart radio and also on Facebook every Thursday at 8:40. Please help me welcome my guest for today. He is Pastor Alex Umazon. Daddy, you are very much welcome to the Virtuous Woman.
Thank you. It is such an honor, such a blessing. I'm humbled. God bless you. God bless Inside Studio, Virtuous Woman, the work you guys are doing. We applaud you.
Thank you so much. We are so much grateful to have you. We have been longing for today, and thank God he knows best. He already knew that it is going to be for today, and we know that many lives are going to be impacted. Yes, Daddy, we are talking about social media and parenting. I know it is a topic that we are really yearning to get people informed about, especially the dangers it is bringing to us. So, Daddy, you can take it through with us. Social media and parenting.
Thank you. I would say, as a disclaimer, I'm not an expert in technology innovations, and I would also even say I'm not an expert in parenting. But I am interested. As part of my work as a preacher, I develop interest in those areas, so much so that I really want to know the in and outs, the good and the negatives, and what it is actually doing to the modern society, including yours and mine. So we dabble into them. I mean, we took advantage of the so much effort that has been put into research. One of the things I would say right away is social media came about as a result of technology, innovative technologies. And even when technology was starting, there was nothing like social media. When the internet came, the aspect of internet where you can share videos, share information, bunch of data, and all of those technologies came about, then the social media platform began to show up. And because of the limited amount of time that we do have, some type of information I will reserve. But I will say that social media came as a result of the enhancing technologies that has come about. If you're a believer and a child of God, you have to understand that they did not come about happenstance. God said in the end time, in the last days, there shall be increase, Daniel 12:4, in knowledge, increase in information, data, increasing in technology, and increasing in mobility. And so the world is actually experiencing the boom in data technology and these things. Those people that follow me on Thursday, you realize I was talking about it used to be thousands years before new technologies would break forth. And then it came to 100 years. Now we are talking about months. In a matter of months, so much technology, it is even beating the mind of the experts in those areas. It is so much. And this has brought about what we call social media. Social media actually is being carried about by platforms that were developed by experts who hide, technological savvy, who hide experts in their fields, who know human weaknesses, human attitudes and behavior, who have studied for many years, who know how to move masses, and they hire these experts to develop these products. Their intention, technology and social media are profitable. Our hosts have actually talked to us about it, and we can spend our time here talking about the positive. But if you go into the minds of those that have created these social media platforms like the Facebook, the YouTube, the WhatsApp, the Facebook Messenger, Instagram, we have another WhatsApp for business community, and then TikTok, the current one that is actually rocking the teen sphere. We have those in China, like the Tui, the REV.ALEX, and all of those ones. They are the machines, the instruments that social media is traveling through, and they intentionally designed this stage to bring about addiction, to not addiction to just destroy us negatively. They thought it would be something. The content is developed in such a way that when you are hooked on it, you can't just let it go. It's like drug use. People that use this drug. The chemical substance in your brain that is actually produced called dopamine, the same thing they intended to create in us, so that you can't just let it go, you keep going. And then by doing that, you'll be so attached to these platforms that they can now do the business aspect to get their money by publicity, adverts, and so that people now no more don't have to do publicity adverts on television and those atmosphere. They are doing it here with a little bit lower cost and reaching to the world community to that way. That was the idea. That is the plan behind it. And that is the reason why in some advanced countries, their parliamentarians and their senators are beginning to call these social media funders to come and answer questions, because they have seen that it has tended to become an addiction. It has tended to become something that gets hold of young children indiscriminately and in destroying their lives. I'm going to go into statistics sometime along the line. And so they will bring them. And these ones are the ones revealing to us that the service they hire to develop these programs on all our social media, their intention is to develop the system in such a way that you get hooked to it. It's like a person on a drug alcohol, even though it's destroying him, but it's like he's helpless. The dopamine produced tell him that that's the only way you can be happy, so go, even though it is actually physically, emotionally destroying you. But it's like you're addicted to it, you are hooked up to it. There's so much of addiction on our social media platforms, so much of it that it is mind-blowing to any reasonable human being on earth at this moment. And that is what we're going to be talking about a little bit. So I want to say that on this platform called social media, parenting is becoming more disruptive and very difficult. It really brings to my attention, the Bible said in the end time, perilous time will come. Perilous time includes this booming technology and including social media, that people is going to distress family, is going to bring so much social upheaval and disturbances that you sometimes you wish you didn't even have children. And the effect, as we talk about parenting, it's not going to be only on children, it's on first of all, the parents. We are the first generation of parents who are experiencing the boom of technology, advanced innovative technologies. Those before us have never experienced this thing. They don't have any idea about it. We are the first generation experiencing this breakout unhinged social media technologies. And what it is doing to us is like we are helpless. We don't have what it takes to handle it. We don't know what it takes. Some of us, we hold our mobile phones and our iPad and our computers and so much content. We don't know what to do. We don't even know the dangers that it brings. It is killing us softly. It is making us addicted softly. From pastor to whatever. Parents, the problem we are having today, that's what I'm going to stress more, is that the parents are the problem. And then the children. Because we are all hooked up to our mobile devices. We are all hooked up to our social media platforms. We have them as a hype. It's something functional. Everybody's doing it. If you're not doing it, it's like you are colo or a little bit behind and stuff like that. So the parents are number one, and then the children. So that is what we really want to talk about. Let's say that
I think that
there is
parents,
hope, but it's difficult.
Thank God there is hope. We want to hear of this hope. But I feel like we parents are much more afraid of the physical harm that somebody might do to our children, and not that mental part that we have no idea of when it comes to social media. I was watching a documentary, and parents were grouped, children of all ages were grouped, and they asked the children what they think of their parents growing up. Like, if they imagine their parents growing up, what comes into their mind? And the most important thing that bothered children about the growing up of their parents was how they could live without smartphones and technology. They were talking about the fact that how were they able to interact with their friends. That was the first thing on their mind. But on the other hand, parents were also explaining the fact that they were pushed to always be outside. They were interacting with others, they were having sports, they were helping their parents on the field, in trading and all that. So everything was like outside. But in our generation, we want to keep them, because of social media, we keep children inside, and they are not able to interact with people outside. They are not able to live with people. Because of social media, it has made them like closed in, and you don't even know what is going on their mind. And we parents have no idea of the mental state or the harm social media is creating or is putting into the minds of our children.
Yeah, very true. I want to sound an alarm before I tell you some of the negatives. Then we end with maybe some of the things we can suggest. Listen, it is so alarming that people still believe, including young people, teens and children, because some parents are, training their children right from the age 5 upwards to use phones and mobile phones and social media, because they are using it as a means to pacify, just like unbelieving family, when their children is very troublesome, they will give them alcohol or something just to pacify them, to keep quiet. And children, they like, you see that, like I said before, the people that created this thing and creating them, they have in mind to put everybody on addiction, so that you don't go away from their publicity and their business aspect. So what they do is they screen the colors, those attractions, those things that count. Children are so hooked to those things. And so if you give your 5-year-old, your 6-year-old, and upwards phones to hand, they will surely keep away to themselves and not disturb you parents. Even though you get maybe your 1 hour, 2 hours of peace, but you're building something that is going to destroy your child in the near future and eventually destroy the family. So there is nothing like trading these means, devices to our children just keep them born good. It doesn't work like that. And like what you were saying, what has happened in these few years has transformed the social fabric. I, as a preacher, want to say to everybody listening to me that what has happened these few years, starting from 2000 and something upwards, has changed the social fabric, including third world nations. Remote countries are having access to these things like never before. Everything has changed. People are no more related to one another. People find it difficult, including husband and wife, to engage in sound communication because on table time, dinner time, supper time, everybody's hooked up with mobile phone, no restrictions, no laws, and nothing, and we are all into it once, and we do it this way. When we are downloading our application and the rest, they ask us, do we want to be alerted of any notification? We always say yes. And so before on your phone you hear it, you look at it. In church, outside church, in places that were sacred, that were so socially sacred to us, including husband and wife on their bed and all of that. It has all resorted to our mobile phone sleeping with us, charge along our place, and all of those things. It has changed us completely. So human being is not talking to his fellow human being without giving attention to this social media thing. The same thing applies to our children. Like I said, because the adults are doing it, the children learn by what they see more than what you tell them. You can tell them all you want, but if they see physical example and role model before them, that is exactly what they do and what they become. And so society is changing, it was changing for bad. One of the questions I would say is that God's word has has made it plain that in the end time, things will happen on a global scale, and everything that happens in one village, all others can see instantly. And the technology is the thing that's making this possible. And technology is making it possible in a positive way. You have to understand that we are moving into a sovereign global state where you will not have no more your privacy. And most of us, we don't even know that when we fill the forms, when we do the small enter your email and other things before we join any application, we don't even know that we are giving them a data bank and they are using them to monitor your life, control your life, and give you things you don't need, but you are forced to see them, look at them, tailor-made to you, particularly your family, your child, the things they know, the things you like, the things you don't like. They can follow your social media, whatever, profile to know your things you like, things you don't like, bring publicity, cause you to buy things you don't supposed to buy, go to places you don't supposed to go on this virtual platform, and end up putting this social media discomfort and negatives on you. So I'm trying to say that the world has changed. The world has come to a place we didn't prepare for, and it has come upon all of us, parents and children. It is time to see these dangers and begin to intentionally do something about it. I've studied, I've researched, I've known parents that have literally break away from mobile phone addictions and social media, sometimes for months, sometimes for years, sometimes for days in their family, in order to bring ourselves back to the former way of life, where a mother and a father can talk and children are talking. We're asking questions. We're asking about our school, our children, what bothers them, what is troubling them, who messes them up. We don't have time for none of these things because we are so busy answering to foolishness. I mean, somebody posted something, so busy spending all our time is affecting our Christianity. It is affecting our social life, husband and wife, friends and brothers. Everything has become virtual. This is not the world we prepared for. We don't even have an idea. It has come upon us. It's time to do this type of education and sound the alarm so that many parents, many community-based, church-based will see these dangers and help our people, because I promise you 10, 5, 6, 20 years down the line, we are all going to be so much of victims to this social media thing about the things I'm about to mention to you, and it is not good. So God should really help us. We are changing the normal way of life, how God intended our life to be, into a virtual way of life where nothing is real, everything is hype, everything is fake, everything is, I would say, touch reality. They are not reality, they are there, and they are so much louder. You can access this everywhere. They are telling you that they are bringing satellite into every corner where you can have internet access without having to charge it from TIM or whatever. Why are they doing that? They say digitally they want to break the divide so that everybody will get access to internet. As if internet, the negative side is buried, is not talked about. But, brothers and sisters, everybody is now getting aware that the negative side of this social media is far outweigh the positive side. And many of us are not aware of them, and it is destroying us. And so, if I should keep going,
yes,
this social media, if your child is on it, and basically, especially the teens from the age of 12 upwards, they are the one that will give you pressure. The parents, they will give you pressure, uncles, grandfathers and mothers. Your little child have a way of playing on your mind. They give you pressure that I need it. And the reason why I need it is because all my friends have it, and they laugh at me. They bully me. They are saying that I am from 1920 or something, and so I need to have it. But hey, that alone is not enough motivation for you to get a mobile phone, and eventually, because there are so many parents who take their mobile phone from their children, or maybe they take away the internet, but the child has a way of going to the school and sharing with their friends their internet so that he can be surfing the net and exposing themselves to horrible content. They tell you that you can have parental control. That may be true in a halfway. You may say, for instance, oh, don't go to the internet. If the child has access to these devices, they are too smart. They will go there. They will go there, delete it before they come home. And so it's a very challenging thing. It robs you of quality time with yourself if you're a child, and if you are a parent, with yourself and others. It prevents us from forming a healthy new relationship. Don't you see now that everybody's afraid of somebody?
True.
We are no more have the ability naturally given to us to relate to people, to solve our problems, forgive one another, and get along. No, we are inward looking. We are all thinking of ourselves. You close church, everybody go back to their mobile phone, and they started checking their messages and the rest. And as if nobody is in the church. We are not talking to one another. We talk to the mobile phone and the social media more than we are talking to real people before us. God intended life should be real, not virtual. But we are turning it in that way. It increases anxiety and depression because, let's admit, if you go to social media, any one of them, if you go, you feel inferior. You feel like you are not up to those people whose pictures you are seeing, whose things are seeing.
True.
You feel like in a real world, you don't match. So you begin to lose self-esteem. You begin to get worried. You begin to get jealous. You begin to get envious. You begin to get all these negative things without you knowing, you're piling it. So all of a sudden, you are not happy with yourself about you as a family, your children. Now people think family is the films, it's the one portrayed in the films we see. There's nothing rare about those things. Those people that are actually showing us the film, they are living their reckless and very horrible family lives. None of them have their families together. They are divorcing like mushrooms. But they portray a family life on their films and the movies and the things you see as if they are in heaven. And you are sitting miserably in your home with a small problem you have with your wife and your children. You think you should go and kill yourself. And so it is bringing anxiety and depression on clinical level. These things that I'm saying to you, they are not saying because I'm saying it. They are, if you do research across, it's everywhere, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. I mean, the rate it is moving. The only thing we can do is that every parent, every individual have to take concrete measures to curtail the amount of time we spend on this device. And even if it is possible, if you know that your child is developing some symptoms, is becoming losing concentration on their studies, they are too hyper in terms of talking to them, they are angry, they are talking back. If you see these signs, it is a warning thing to you that it's time to do something about social media, mobile phone usage, and any other technological means and device you have. Otherwise, you lose the people you love, you lose the children we have. Many are committing suicide. The rate is alarming. Sure. Many are doing things, the rate is alarming. Bullying is causing our sons and daughters to lose focus, and it is so alarming. So, I don't know, my sister, if I have to keep up, I want to really quickly be saying the negative. It makes you spend money unnecessarily. Like I said, I personally can tell you, there are times I've ordered things that at the end of the day, the things I ordered was not necessary. I didn't even know why I ordered. But the publicity came so strong, the presentation was so convincing, everything is packaged, everything is actually dotted, everything is professionally done to actually captivate your attention, make you addicted, compulsive behavior, put it on you. So that before you know, you have clicked the button, you've gone to the site, make a commitment, buy things, spending money unnecessary that you might not spend at all. Have you not become so much addicted to these things? And then it's completely addictive, as I've said. That is the danger I really want to say. Just like tobacco, alcohol, and those substances causes addiction. These things also called internet gambling, gaming on the phone and other places by means of internet. They are also much compulsive behaviors and addictive, and it is destroying our finances, our money, and everything. It causes, like I said, envy, jealousy, low self-esteem, and FOMO. FOMO is the fear of missing out. You get so much into this thing that as a teen, as a child, you think that if you are not connected, you may not know what is happening. But before this thing came, we were living a normal life. We were able to hear news that are happening at a point in time, and nothing was wrong. Now all of a sudden they are telling us a bunch of lies. If you are not connected, you'll be left out. You don't know what is happening, and because of that, it's like a force on your head. It's like a demon controlling you. Most of you, but it has nothing to do with a demon. They have projected these devices so that you yourself will use them and become so much addicted. And so at the end of the day, a parent cannot criticize a drug addict on the street and then the alcohol abuser on the street. What? You are so much addicted to your phones and to your social media, so that if we make any attempt, today I was saying in church, if we make any attempt to confiscate your mobile phone and your social media just for a week, you will be dead. You like, how can I live without them? You understand? Wow. I'm talking about husband and wife. We all sit on the table, everybody with his mobile phone, eating. Your wife is talking to you, you are looking at your mobile phone, checking the message, whilst one ear is listening. This thing is not good, it is killing us. And I'm praying to God that He help us to know these dangers. And then you can't figure out what is real from what is virtual. This is the deception. The big deception is now many of us don't know the difference between real life and virtual life. We don't know the difference. We think what we see is real. Most of them are not real. Most of them are packaged, publicity-made stuffs so that it will draw your attention, hook you up, and make you miserable. You struggle to connect with people in real life. That's what I mean. Online bullying and toxic relationships are formed using our social media. You have a son, you may not even aware, in the midnight, he's supposed to be sleeping. 10 years, 9 years, 11 years in their own bedroom. They have access to the internet. Thanks God for, thanks to what we call it, the internet available to us. We all are subscribing to it. You don't subscribe to anything about Boba, you subscribe to it. So you have it 24/7, and you don't know that it is actually training your little child not to sleep. During the night, you watch all the light go on, and he now become alive. In the morning, he feels so sleepy, he's so battered, so weak. He go to school, the results are bad. That is not how it used to be. Something is wrong. You've given him access to something that is destroying his life gradually. It has so much of a cognitive effect on our children. It affects their brain, their concentration, their attentive level, their ability to stay attentive to you. Even as a parent, start from you. When you are talking to them, they can't look at your face, they can't stand, they can't listen, they can listen for 1 minute before you know they are going to their room. So you have to ask the question, why do our children in our days want to always remain in their rooms? Why do they always want to remain under the dark in their room? Ask them, what are they doing there? They are so smart. When they see you, they scroll it down. And they know that mommy and daddy is so ignorant. They don't know a thing. Anything. So, if you see, what were you watching? Nothing. Look at my screen. Nothing. It's a lie. Take it. Check it. You'll be sure what you were watching. So I'm trying to take this thing is destroying, and then it causes many of us never to exercise. Parents and children, we don't go out and play. We don't walk. We don't do none of this because the time we used to go walk and do that thing, we are hooked up on our phones. Yes. And then social media is actually making, like I said, the brain of our children reduce its capacity to develop. So people are becoming less intelligent. I'm talking to every child, including believers children. This has nothing to do whether you're a believer or you are not a believer. As long as you are using them, you are hooked up to them. I have listened to stories, brothers. Listened to stories upon stories where this social literally have killed people. Yeah. Have brought people into a virtual relationship. They don't know the person. The person has been following them, lying to them, giving them words. Before you know, they make an appointment, they go and meet that strange person. Before you know, they are committing all kinds of things. Social media is a dangerous thing. According to Twitch, one big person who is into this thing, he wrote a book about it. He said the effects are substantial and disturbing. Teenagers in the United States, for example, are spending on average between 7 and 12 hours a day watching a screen. 2 hours a day on the internet, 2.5 hours testing on smartphones, 1.5 hours a day on electronic gaming, half an hour on video chat, 2 hours on watching television. These are done multitasking in a day, doing all of these things. A parent can trace the screen time of your children, and you'll be shocked. And let me say to every parent, don't wait until they are 12. Right from 6, 7, you have to provide different way of interaction physically. You have to provide games, you have to provide going out with them, catching things up, and many other things, so that if you stop a child of something, you must provide alternative. Because if you don't provide alternative, they go back to it. You must say to them, this is more healthier and positive. Look at the dangers. So let's, interact or intertwine the social media with these things. And the dangers of social media is what we say is you tell your child. Many people are dying because of it. Many are getting themselves to strangers they don't know. Listen, personally, last 2 years, before the pandemic, 2019, we went to UK, and there was a lady who was ministering, a young girl in university who was mad. who was insane at the time. So they brought her and we sat down and she told us that, how did you come to this level? The lady said, a young girl said, I used to watch some program on the internet, and in this program, certain satanic things will come on, and they will dress as innocent people and tell you to do this. They say this was a good year. And he never tried, but one day he decided it's a button, just put your hands on it, nothing will happen. Try to do that, and he pushed the button, and that was it. Something took hold of her, possessed her mind. From that day, a year after she was not of herself, he went mad. And direct spiritual interconnection came to this lady through social media. I have listened to testimony where people, they parade themselves as modeling companies, but they are not. And they say, oh, give this, give that, connect with us. Before you know, they have introduced you to spirits that are controlling you, making you naked, take your pictures, abuse you, all happening on the mobile phone. Imagine your children are doing this. I know girls who do sex things behind the back of their mother. The mothers are in their house, for Christ's sake, but their children are doing it in their room without anybody knowing it.
Daddy, I am very quiet because one, I have to confess, all that Daddy is saying is because we are all guilty. Like, we all fall short of what he's saying, and I believe that you out there watching is also having the same issue as I am. I'm very, it's very, what that is talking about is very, very serious. I watched some videos where they were talking about the fact that part of our brain is supposed to stay, it becomes active when we don't do anything. Like, we stay without doing nothing, like you are there daydreaming, and that is where that part of your brain becomes active, which means even sitting without doing nothing, like doing nothing, is also okay. That is what makes that part of our brain active. But if you are always on the screen, even 3 months old babies, not even 5 years, as Daddy said, 3 months old, we put the phone before them for them not to cry so that you can do what you are doing. And so every parent out there, I think, is guilty. Daddy, if I'm a parent and I'm not so much into, if I have to compare me to my parents, sometimes I have to do certain things on the phone for them or on the internet for them because they are not into technology as we. I believe that my child coming up will be also more into social media than I will do now. I wouldn't know how to, I'm still thinking of how to keep up with the fast as it's going, so that I will be able to always know what he's doing on his phone. But for a mother out there who is not into social media, who is not into technology, and your son is, or your daughter is with the phone always and doing all that, how do you help?
I would say that one of the tactics I think personally I would really love to use is that I would delay the time, the year I will handle iPhone and mobile phone to my son or my daughter. The question becomes, at what age can a child, a teen, a youth, be able to judiciously use these applications so that it will not harm them? I will tell you, no age is limited because the age people are killing themselves are from 12 and 13. And it is, I mean, the statistics is everywhere. And it's not maybe a gun from somewhere killing them. It is as a result of this social media thing, and they are dying. And so the question you asked me, I would say that it's a big problem. That's why I said perilous times shall come. Because we will enter into a generation, all of a sudden something has come upon us, and we parents, we are not capable, we are not aware, we don't even have an idea the dangers, the damages these things are doing. For instance, if a person speaks only 3, okay, and all these educative things warning us are on the YouTube in English, and you can't understand, you don't know, how are you going to be equipped too. That is why the first way of living was better. The first way of living, you go for information to people who know, and you relate and you interact and you let them teach you. And this about children. So if you have a child and you don't have the education, now the society have turned it upside down. Don't ask anybody anything. Don't talk to people, even the people you know, because they will know your weaknesses. So even if you don't know, keep it to yourself and destroy yourself. I would say that is a bad approach. That is not Christianity. Christianity is community. It's building relationship, physical, not virtual relationship. The person you can drive to, the person you can go to their house, don't use a mobile phone to call them, because me talking to you is not the same thing as physically there with you. I'm telling you the gospel to you. I mean, there are so many things you are not aware, but when you are there, you can know. So even if you are not that educated and not abreast with it, you still have to get information and knowledge through those people who know in the language you understand, so that the negatives at least you can tell your son and your daughter and tell yourself. Because my problem with many of you I thought is you are not educated, you don't even understand the video what they are saying. Only the pictures in the video, the moment you get it, the people have taught you how to send it across. So you get it and back, you send it. You get it and back, you send it. You don't even know what it is, for Christ's sake. So if you don't understand anything, and I say it again, if you don't know the source of any information, anything, Christians are victims. Don't send it, don't share. Share to who and for what? Why are you disturbing people by sharing foolishness? I mean, you always send me. For what? What education does it bring? What real life-changing information does it bring? You are here sharing information about Ghana, somebody doing some foolishness. What good does it do to your friend or the family member you are sharing? And this is how we've been taught. The only thing we know how to do, you bought a mobile phone that costs almost like 500, 600. The only thing you know how to do is to call and then enter Facebook. That's it. You don't know anything about it. All the capability of that mobile phone, you have no idea. You only do the calling, the sharing information. That's it. Why you buy such a phone? Buy something small. So I say that delay, a parent should really delay the year he gave a son an iPhone or a smartphone. The reason is this: as long as you give it to them, they are smarter than you. They will know how to use it, hide things, access places you are not aware, and become corrupt. So those that have already started giving their phones to their children because they are disturbing them, please, it's time to recollect some things. Start from you as a parent. If you put your phone down and do rare communication, if you deliberately tell them that we're going to do this thing, you said you're a victim, I'm a victim. I would say most of us are victims. Because this is something that has come upon us. We don't have the education. But as you are doing on this program, you're sounding the alarm. We will go to be educated. You hear it once, twice, six, third, fourth. You begin to do something about it. Because it's a red danger. It's destroying, including you.
True.
It's making you intelligently minor. So we got to do something about it. And so I say that those people, the only thing I can help is get someone who knows the dangers to tell you in the language you understand. And don't think that what you are holding is safe. It's not safe. It's dangerous. Even the effect it has on you when you put it off and it is close to you, the effect it has on you when you put it close to you to charge it and all of that, charging it and then putting it in your pocket, the effect this thing has on you and your child alone. It is reducing sperm count, it is reducing so many things in us. It is, listen, this is dangerous. And we need more time to talk specifics because they are so dangerous, and it's like you're holding a bomb. All of us are holding a bomb that is capable of destroying us, yet we're not aware. And we are like they are toys and we are playing games with. We are sharing messages with. These are bombs. These things have so much of radiation and chemicals and things, apart from the fact that you're watching, that can destroy your brain, destroy your body, and make you inefficient, that we are not even aware. So it's time that your program and other things begin to sound time their lamp, because that is what we are having now. That is the fashion now. The fashion we have now is mobile phones, and now because now, for now currently, 2022, January, 6.8 something billion people, we are 7 billion something, are using social media. Think about it, including our grandmothers and fathers are down there, they don't even know what it is, but they are using God and talk and smile with their daughter somewhere. That is the only positive effect. The rest is a junk. So something that has this negative capability, why are we so hooked up to? Because we don't know. You understand? So I will tell anybody who is not abreast, we educate parents that are younger, parents that are up and coming, that you first of all get yourself under control and then be in a proper position to help your child, because as long as he sees you using it, he doesn't care. Children don't know whether you're using it for business, for Bible, for whatever. All they know you are using mobile phone. So they have to use their mobile phone too. The only excuse they will stop is mom and dad are not using it. And there are times they are not using it. So me too, there must be times I do not have to. I don't have to take mobile phone to school. I don't have to take mobile phone to any social gathering that I'm going. I have to keep it somewhere. Until we come to that terms of reducing the amount of time we spend and the unnecessary use of these things, we are destroying our future. I have to mind you, 10, 20 years ago, these things were not there. They don't have an idea. All the information we have, they are current information. So prediction tells me 10 years, 20 years down the line, many people are going to be socially mad, socially insane, socially incapable, they cannot adjust their life with real people and real life. And this danger, we don't have to sit down for it to take us, like cigarettes, alcohol. You see people that effect. Why would you sit down and keep drinking and destroy yourself? Unless maybe you're out of your, forgive me. So I'm trying to say that parents is a serious business. One of the best things, if I don't tell anything, is that you check your social media usage first. You bring it under control first. Then you have the moral integrity and right to tell any other person. When you go to church, don't use it. Don't use it at all. When you are in any function where it requires your attention, your time for you to talk physically, don't take your phones and those things along with you. These things are serious. I'm supposed to do, you're supposed to do, because we can't help others. No teen, no youth will permit you to be talking nonsense if you are not practicing the talk. So we start practicing as parents. If it is difficult for you, find outside help. It has become an addiction, find outside help and break it. And ask God to help you break that addiction, then you can help others. Because I must tell you, I must confess, the parents are more addicted, more confused in the use of social media and the rest than their children. Yeah. And they, because they are more confused, they don't know the benefits, the disadvantages, the limits, they are not giving it to their children for nothing. Why are you giving it? As a gift, as a blessing. Give them shoes, give them shirts, give them something to read. Pay their ticket to go visit their grandma and the rest. Don't buy these things. They don't help none of our sons. All these wicked things, pornography, masturbation, sexting, people are robbing your young girls on these days. They are making them culpable. They sing in church, but they have friendship in the virtual world with somebody giving them dirty words. You are not aware. They act as if they are holy. They are confused. They are angry with him because they know their life is supposed not to be what they are, but they are into it. So who is going to help them? Parents first, and then someone else to help. Parents first, you are taking your life. You are getting control by your social media use. And don't tell me, please, I'm giving it again. Don't tell me, always, I used to listen to preaching. Download it and listen to it later. Apportion your life in such a way that there will be limitations, so that when your child see you so in control, they can be in control of their life too. Because if you get them into the level of addiction, it's not easy. Telling you.
Wow, parents. This is to all of us. Daddy, I have a question here on Facebook. I have lots of comments, but I think because of our time, I'll just go to one or two of them. We have our Mommy Tando asking, some people say social media is demonic. Please, how best can we address this? Meanwhile, we are all involved.
Yeah, well, the answer to this question is partly true and partly, listen, even God and Adam and Eve, God didn't do things for them. He gave us a free will. So you may say it is demonic or whatever it is, but at the end of the day, it is your choice. It is your will that counts. It is us that bought the mobile phone. It is us that unnecessarily downloaded all the apps, got the internet subscription, even when you don't have money. It's like it has become something like if you don't have these things, you are left out.
You are left out.
So, yeah, so you buy it at all costs, even under burden of debt, you will do it. And so it is us that brought ourselves to that level. It is you that look at the screen. Now, as we are talking to you, you have every right to off it or stay on. And so, even though I must say, if you follow me on Thursday, you discover that right from the day of creation down upwards, you see that any time there is those wicked that do not have God as their God in a place, they tend to progress and advance in technology quicker and faster. The line of Cain is full of technology. The artists, the musicians, and the rest, they came from the line of Cain. You ask yourself the question, why? The answer is the devil gave them that thing faster so that they will rebel more. They think they are adequate, they are okay because of science, technology, innovation. Many of these scientists and innovators think there is no need for God. In fact, they are saying that technology and God, we are developing in such at a point in time, it will be all-knowing, all-powerful, everywhere, just like the Christian God. So there is an element of demonic with it, but they all boil down to our personal free will, what we choose to watch and see and do. So don't let Christians reduce everything to demonic. If you do that, you are not balanced. It is you serve God in truth and in spirit. It is not only the experience of demonic entities, the truth. You are not using truth to set yourself free. You are not using truth to build self-control. You are not using your will to choose what is right and reject what is wrong. So at the end of the day, spiritual, physical, and your choices together bring about this social media thing. So I don't agree that everything about the technology is demonic.
Okay, I have another comment here. This is from Mommy Priscilla. She says, we are addicted to our phones. Yeah. Parents, it should start from us, as Daddy said. We need to model what we want our children to do. And so, you can test yourself if you are really ready to leave your phone. Just off your internet gadgets there and see if you can stay a whole day without your phone. Or there is an app that helps you to know the number of hours you stay on those apps. And so you can download it and see whether you are addicted to it or not. That is one of the problems of parents, maybe for somebody out there also, is the fact that we know that it is dangerous, but we still do it. I want to understand. When we post pictures and videos of our children out there, we really don't understand how dangerous it can be. What can you say about that?
You can understand it by looking at what we normally have as addiction in the real world. People that are doing scatter binge, that are doing lottery, that are doing into alcohol and the rest. Socially, it looks awkward. So you ask the question, why do they do? Because addiction is more stronger than demonic infestation. Because most of the addiction are not so much demonic. It's a behavior, substance abuse that you keep going to it, and your mind will produce this rewarding substance called dopamine, and it tells you that, oh, it's nice, so keep going for it. So you keep going until it becomes, it's actually regularizing your system, and you don't see the danger is there, you are dying with it, but you away from it. The same way when you start with this internet, social media thing, it's gradual, but before you know, you are spending more time on it. And in places where they even say you can't use your phones, something you tell you, be smart and just do it a second and see whether somebody has sent you something or not. And so you are tempted to look at your phone, even though it is exactly in church. You are tempted to look at the phone, you hear the beep. This is build addiction. With time, it has become an addiction, something you can easily break away from, something you can easily control, even though you know the danger, the disrespect, all of those things that it brings on you. Because you become so much into it, you can't control it. So addiction can be breaking through the same way you entered into it. Gradually reducing the amount, gradually seeing the danger, and so that I am going, mentioning I'm going to do this thing about this. And then have an accountability, somebody who is checking out to make sure, are you going back? Because addiction, I know they say, look, you break and you go back to it if you are not careful. So people take away their phone, and then they go to work and they find their computer. And they realize that the computer, they only on it. Before they know, content have come, publicity, puff here, puff there. And before they know, they are on it for an hour. The next day, 2 hours. But they have thrown their mobile phone away for that particular reason. So this thing is strong. We don't have to play games. To me, anything you can't control is having mastery over you. It's mastering your life. And you have to pray with your God and self-discipline until you are able to control that device. If you can't control it, you can as well throw it away because it will destroy you. So we are talking about serious matters here. And I can tell you, including me, most of us, we are so addicted to these days. We are no more having physical books to read. All my books are on the screen. And I spend hours reading. Now you mentioned that there are apps. Let me tell you, mobile smartphone, iPhones have this system in it. You can activate, the modern ones can activate screen time. You will tell you, miserably, you'll be sorry. Miserable at the end of the day, you spend 6 hours on your YouTube and the rest, and on Snapchat and the rest, and then maybe 20 minutes for education aspect. So we are actually destroying ourselves, I'm telling you. Literally, we are destroying ourselves as creative, intelligent beings God created us to be by technology. I promise you, if you don't learn anything from me, learn from me that we are literally destroying ourselves. Because if you have an accountability chart of what you've done throughout the day with your mobile phone, you'll be shocked how much time you've spent and how less time you spend for yourself, for your family, and for God. Zero. Wow. And then the alarming thing I'm trying to say, you use the excuse that, oh, I'm listening to messages. But before you know, you shift from the message, you are on the gossip, you're on the other thing, you are on the dressing that have come out anew. Somebody, they dress their birthdays, they don't keep coming. So you don't stay even with your preaching. Before you know, you are all over the place because the self-control is not there. Give me a promise that from today, we all together, from me, from you, for ourselves and for our children, and from their children's children. Because I sit here crying within that I hear so many parents all over the world, especially Western world, losing their daughters and sons through these addictions of the social media. And there's nothing they can do about it. They are getting mad, they are killing themselves, they are dropping from school, they are becoming useless, on and on and on and on. It's not a game, it's not beautiful, it's not nice. The things on it is dangerous, even though this technology was meant to do us good in some sense. You can have access to information that can help your education and the rest. But because we are human beings with weakness, we are not able to control it, and it is actually damaging us. And I sit here talking to parents telling you that I'm a victim. My son knows how to use these things even more than me. Okay? And he finds his joy and happiness with them more than with prayer means. Thank God he has learned how to balance it with other games. Otherwise, you've lost your son. If you are talking to them, they won't listen. They are doing this, but they will mean the same thing tomorrow because they didn't listen. They don't have this attention span. They can't look at your face and listen to you. That thing you bought for him, as a birthday gift at the age of 9, 10, 11 is destroying him.
Wow.
That's what I can say.
Wow.
Let's not reward them with telephones and iPads. If it is demanded in the school, it is only for school. And Roma, for let it wait. Let them do their game, their things. But for mobile phone, my sister, my brother, let it wait, because when they start too early, the effect when they are teenagers, you don't know what they are doing. Go into the teenage world and discover what is destroying your daughters and your sons, so that we all will be a little bit careful. These are dangerous and perilous times. These are times technology is going to go deeper and higher and take the place of so evil and control all of us. And it has started. And we are all victims. It is time to do the education. It's time to do overhauling and start helping ourselves so that we can. Husband, help your wife. Wife, help your husband. He's too addicted. He's always 24/7 on radio, on things, on the phone. And he can't even sleep well. He's not well. Something is wrong. Let's help ourselves. Let's cut it. Let's discipline ourselves. Let's put limitations on where we can go with our mobile phones on. There are places we need to put it off. We need to actually make sure it's a sacred issue. People are in charge, they are doing social media. Why? You don't understand. So God should really help us.
God help us. Mommy Tando says some pastors are not using the Bible on pulpits anymore. Prefer phones and tablets. Wow. Mrs. Kenny says, mercy. Mercy on me, oh God. Mercy on every one of us. Lady Judith says, may God help us to be balanced. Amen. May God help us to be balanced. Attention span. Attention span is a huge problem. As Daddy said, when you are talking, they won't look you into the face, and they are always looking somewhere. When they are doing something, they can't stay 5 minutes doing that homework. They have to stop, play, look somewhere, always have a divided attention.
God have mercy.
God have mercy. On YouTube, we have Zuskeni says, it takes months now. The media is running faster rather than man who is in control of it. It says, getting hooked to it. Zuskeni says again, parenting is difficult in this social media generation. Very difficult. Yeah. We have very, very difficult. Daddy. We have our mommy, Lady Pastor Edwin Andrew says, mercy for parents. We have our elder Tano says, very, very true. Children learn from what they see rather than what they hear. Tell them, God have mercy on us. So he also says, Elder Tano again says, God have mercy on us. Oh God, we need so much wisdom to deal with this problem. So much wisdom, Daddy, so much wisdom. We have our mommy Patience. Amate says, God bless you, Daddy. Our children are more than us, and that's true. Tell us more. Thanks. We are all ready to hear Daddy more. When we give him the whole day, he can tell us about so much of the danger this social media is creating for us, our children. They might feel, some say, okay, when I put my picture out there and the likes, it makes me feel okay, it makes me being accepted by society. But is that all what life is? You need to be self-confident. We need to teach them the values for them to know, feel appreciated of themselves and not depend on the likes and the follow they have on social media. Wow, this is so deep, and it will not take only me, it will not take only you, but it will take every one of us. Gone are the days when everybody on the street was a parent, like everybody can chastise you because he feels he's a parent to you. But today, dare you touch somebody's son or daughter, everybody is to him or herself, and you can't tell somebody's daughter what to do and what not to do. We all keep, as Daddy said, we keep everything to ourselves. Oh, I cannot go and talk to somebody about this issue because everything about me will be out there. Daddy also said it all depends on us parents. It will start from us. We need to take the bold step and regulate ourselves with our social media and our gadgets. And then our children will also learn from us. Daddy, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for giving us so much insights. You can continue, Daddy, if you have more to give us as the effect.
I can continue.
Yes.
God bless you.
Our producer says our time is up.
Yeah, that's why I think. But I want to say that definitely I will come again, the Lord willing, in this same area, and maybe take some specific aspect of it and dig deep about it.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm not an expert, and I'm not monopolizing this information. Information about these researches and the danger of them. I haven't told you anything yet. They are there. The last time I made mention that I discovered that those that create these platforms, they prohibit their children from using them. They limit them. Some of them don't allow them to use it. So you have to ask yourself why. Why do they give us these things? And then their sons, daughters, they're making sure they are living real life, not on the virtual world. It's dangerous. It tells us that the world we are living is wicked. Human being has become the devil himself. He is actually sending people into bondages, all for money, all to be richer. And that is the reason why the technology companies are the richest. If you want to be a millionaire, you have to do it on using the internet and the rest. You can't be richer anywhere. And so we are talking about serious stuff. And if you dig deep, you discover that we all have become gradually victims. Now, if you own 3 or 4 mobile phones, it's a sense of pride. You want people to know that you have access to all, but they are not doing really good. I wish, but it can never be, I wish we go back to the way we used to live. We can't do it. God has said that this is not going to rapidly overtook human beings' intelligence. Let me tell you, technology is going to become wiser than human beings. The artificial intelligence they have created is booming. It's going to become wiser. And when that thing happens, they will tell you that God made us in His image, and technology is wiser. They have to wire it into our brain, interface of technology and human intelligence. We are going to become something. We are moving into a dangerous way. Sometimes I weep and cry about it when I do research. But with time, we are sounding the alarm. And we pray to God that people will hear, and we will be ready for our kingdom king, our king, ready for his coming, and do the best we can to become not victims of these things. That is what I can say. And I want to say to you that I'm glad that you are sensitive about the topics you bring. The other time I was on about some mental issues and others. They are very informative. We have to keep doing these things and push it out and tell parents to spread it. Let their children listen to them. Because hearing it from real physical people is far greater than hearing it from somebody you don't know. I am very afraid for information that comes to our children without the source they know and how it is killing. So we are praying to God to keep helping you to do these things. Diversify, people that come to do so that will bring all kinds of information knowledge for the good of the church, for the good of people. So the Lord bless you and keep you, your husband. You're doing an amazing job. And if you don't mind, I'm saying to everybody on Smart Radio Thursday, I do talk about end time and talk about how modern technology and other things coupled with the word of God that we're supposed to know. So they can easily join me and spread the gospel and spread the warning. God bless you. So grateful.
Thank you so much, Daddy. I believe that we have all learned today. If you have not learned anything at all, you know that your phone, the phone in your hand, it is a bomb, and it very soon is going to explode. So do something about it. Start doing it for your children to see, so that you can also have the moral dignity to tell them to also stop. Because if you don't stop and you tell them, they will reply to you that you are holding it, so you cannot tell them to stop. It is difficult, but we can do something about it. Our children need physical interaction with us, and not they being educated by their phones and technology. We can still do something about it. We can still go back to our base, even if, as the man of God said, it's difficult and it's going to get more than that, more than what we are seeing. But we can do something about it. Yes, our children may feel like they are left out, they are not part of the society, their peers in school know more on social media than them, but I think it will do them more good than harm. And so this is what our man of God has for this and more. I believe that he's going to be with us again, and he's going to throw more light on what we have just shared. But today, I believe you have been blessed. If you want to hear more of his teachings, you can get him on the Smart Radio and on Facebook every Thursday at 8:40 p.m. Thank you for being with us. We are very much grateful for you sticking and staying with us till now. We are grateful. If you are new on the page, we urge you to subscribe, follow, and like the page, so that each time we come online, you will have access to whatever we have for you. We wish you that you have a great week, be the best you can be, and have a great week. God richly bless you. Bye for now.
God bless you.
God bless you too, Daddy.
Funeral announcement. There is going to be a special memorial service in honor of our mother, our sister, and our daughter, Mrs. Vida Williams, popularly known as Auntie Abner, whose sudden death occurred in the UK. This service is taking place on Saturday, 19th of March 2022 at the Jesus is Alive Church, Brescia, via Valdiscalve number 1. Time 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. Dress code black and white. All friends and loved ones are cordially invited. Thank you.